There's a moment that happens quietly, invisibly. You hit a milestone. You survive something you didn't think you would. You cross a threshold, maybe small, maybe massive. But instead of feeling peace, you feel nothing. No celebration, no inner shift, just a familiar voice saying, "What's next?" And so you move forward, again, as if the thing you just lived through never really counted. This is the modern sickness no one talks about. We never feel like we've arrived because we've trained ourselves not to. You accomplish something you used to only dream about, and days later, you're already feeling behind again. You forget that the you from 2 years ago would cry if they saw how far you've come. But progress, in your current lens, is a moving target. You don't pause. You don't reflect. You just move. Because you've been taught that forward is the only direction that matters. And yet, forward doesn't always mean growth. It doesn't always mean depth. Sometimes, forward is just escape, dressed in ambition. So ask yourself, when was the last time you let a wind sink in? When was the last time you sat inside your own progress without shaming it for not being more? We don't know how to rest inside success. We only know how to chase the next form of it. But here's the part no one wants to say out loud. You might already be living the life you once begged for. Not perfectly, not fully, but pieces of it are here right now. You asked for peace, and you're no longer in chaos. You asked for purpose, and you're doing something that matters to you. You asked to heal, and your scars don't bleed like they used to. But you don't see it, because the moment it arrives, you rename it not enough. There's always a better version, right? A future where you'll really be calm, really be strong, really be whole. But what if that future doesn't exist? What if this is it? Not in a sad way, but in a sacred one. What if the problem isn't your progress, but your inability to recognize it? This year, minus 2025, you faced things others didn't see. Private battles, quiet choices, and you made it through. You showed up, you kept breathing, you kept moving. That counts. Even if no one clapped, even if there was no announcement. Your survival is not small. Your endurance is not invisible. But the voice in your head doesn't care. It only sees the next hill, the next task, the next goal. It's addicted to the feeling of not quite there. And so you keep running, not because you're growing, but because standing still would force you to feel something. And that something is this: you're tired, and you deserve to see how far you've come. But to do that, you have to do something most people fear. You have to stop and look back, not with regret, but with reverence, because the person you were is still in there, still watching, still whispering, "We did it." Can you see it now? Somewhere along the path, ambition stopped being fuel and became a prison. You no longer strive because you want to grow. You strive because you don't know how to stop. Even in moments of rest, your mind whispers, you should be doing more. Even when something good happens, you say, it's not that big of a deal. You downplay, you deflect, you dismiss, because somewhere deep in your wiring, you've convinced yourself that pausing to acknowledge progress is the same as getting stuck. So you keep moving, even when your soul begs you to breathe. But here's what no one tells you. There is no finish line, just different versions of yourself you haven't learned to accept yet. You chase new goals, not because you love the process, but because you've tied your worth to what's next. You need motion to feel valid. You need the next thing to prove that you're still worthy of being seen. But this is the trap. You could win everything you once wanted and still feel empty, because your mind isn't wired for arrival, it's wired for insufficiency. You learned to survive by moving, to outrun pain, to stay just ahead of fear, and in doing so, you forgot how to feel at home in yourself. You forgot how to sit inside a moment and say, this is enough, I am enough, and the result, you build a beautiful life. but never live in it. You make progress, but feel like a fraud. You reach milestones, but disassociate the second they happen. You walk through doors you once prayed would open, and instead of pausing, you check your watch and look for the next. And worst of all, you convince yourself that this is discipline, that this is drive, that this is greatness. But true greatness includes rest. True discipline includes reflection. And real mastery includes gratitude for what's already here. Because if you can't love where you are, you'll never love where you're going. You'll just keep moving the target. You'll measure success by how much further you have left, instead of how much you've already endured. So ask yourself, what if your soul isn't asking for more, but simply to be acknowledged? What if it doesn't need a new mountain to climb, but a quiet moment to breathe at the top of this one? We think the next level will fix us, that once we get there, we'll finally feel it. But arrival is not a destination, it's a decision to see, really see, the life you're already living, the moments you already survived, the strength you already carry, the things you once dreamed of that now feel ordinary. Because the ordinary is sacred, you just stopped noticing. There are victories that leave no trace, no trophies, no applause, no public recognition, but they happened, and they changed everything. Like the night you didn't give up, even though no one would have known if you had, or the morning you got out of bed with a broken heart and faced the day anyway, or the conversation you wanted to avoid, but had anyway, with trembling honesty. These are not the milestones people post about. They don't come with fanfare, but they are victories, quiet, personal, sacred, and yet you forgot them. You don't count them because your mind has been trained to only see progress in what's measurable: money, titles, followers, metrics, validation. But what about the moments no one saw? What about the choices that only you knew were hard? What about the year you survived? Not with grace, but with grit. You overcame things that don't show up in data: grief, anxiety, loneliness, self-doubt. You kept going through storms no one even knew you were walking through. And now you sit here, wondering if you've done enough, when you've already carried the weight of 10 lifetimes. But you minimized it, called it just getting by, told yourself it doesn't count unless it looks impressive. Let me tell you something. Survival counts. Trying counts. Still being here counts. Not because it's flashy, but because you kept choosing to show up in a world that gave you every reason not to. And that deserves reverence. But we've been conditioned to skip the reverence, to go straight from achievement to inadequacy, to go from I did it to it wasn't that big of a deal, to go from healing to why am I not completely better yet. We erase our own courage before anyone else even has the chance to recognize it. And that's the real tragedy. You survived things the old you wouldn't believe. You made decisions with a heart that was still mending. You broke cycles that were generations deep. And still, you ask yourself if you're behind. Behind what? Some imaginary timeline. Some version of yourself that never had to face what you've lived through. You are not behind. You're becoming. And the road you're on is slower. Not because you're weak, but because it's real. Real healing. Real growth. Real inner work. These things take time, and they deserve acknowledgement. So stop for a moment, and remember, you've done things worth honoring, even if no one clapped, even if no one knew, even if you forgot. You made it through 1,000 endings, and still keep showing up for beginnings. You didn't lose your soul, even when the world tried to make you. You didn't give up, even when you believed you had nothing left. And that matters. Because maybe making it isn't about what you've built, it's about what you've survived. There's a myth we all carry, often without realizing it, that one day we'll wake up and finally feel done, safe, settled, fulfilled, complete, that all the tension will disappear, that the questions will quiet, that will stand at the top of some invisible mountain and say, I made it. But here's the truth no one wants to face. That moment doesn't exist, because the mind doesn't register arrival. It only tracks distance left to go. You move the goalpost every time you get close. You dismiss the progress because it came slowly. You redefine success to keep chasing something. And so you stay stuck in a loop. Want, strive, achieve, minimize, repeat. You trade peace for progress, joy for validation, presence for the illusion of almost there. But arrival is not a place, it's a perspective. It's not a finish line, it's a willingness to see that maybe you're already standing inside something you used to pray for, but you can't feel it. Because your mind only knows how to calculate what's missing. It doesn't know how to honor what's here. It doesn't know how to rest in the middle of a moment and whisper, this is enough, I am enough. Because enough has never been the goal. The goal was more status, more clarity, more healing, more proof that you're worthy. But what if the endless pursuit is what's robbing you of the truth? What if your obsession with the next thing is keeping you from being someone right now? What if you don't need more light? You just need to open your eyes. Kafka wrote about the man who stands before the gate of truth, his whole life, waiting for permission to enter, only to be told, in the end, that gate was meant for you, but he never walked through it. Why? Because he didn't believe he was ready. And maybe, neither do you. Maybe you've spent so long becoming that you forgot how to be. Maybe you've worn the mask of striving for so many years that your bare face feels like failure. But it's not. It's freedom. Because presence isn't weakness, it's resistance. To stop, to breathe, to honor, in a world that screams faster, better, now, is an act of rebellion. So ask yourself, what part of you refuses to believe you've done enough? What wound told you that rest is laziness? What memory whispers that stillness is danger? Because until you confront that voice, you'll keep running, not toward something real, but away from the discomfort of enoughness. And the tragedy is, you'll keep passing through miracles, but calling them not yet. So slow down, not forever, just long enough to realize you're standing in a moment you once begged for, and the only thing missing is your recognition of it. Here's the part no one prepares you for. You might already be living the answer you were searching for, not in some grand, cinematic way, not in a flawless, peak performance state, but quietly, subtly, in moments that feel too ordinary to notice. The peace you begged for. It's in the way you no longer panic every time things go wrong. The freedom you prayed for. It's in the decisions you now make without needing permission. The healing you fought for. It's in how you respond, slower, softer, with more wisdom than before. But your brain doesn't recognize these things because they don't feel dramatic. They don't look like the breakthrough you imagined. So you assume it's not real. You keep chasing intensity, missing the quiet miracle of becoming. But becoming is not loud. It's not obvious. It's not some moment where the sky opens and a voice says, you've arrived. It's when you look at your life and realize the pain didn't break you. The waiting didn't end you. The doubt didn't steal your ability to try again. That's growth. That's success. That's what it means to make it. Not to have everything, but to be something. To be present. To be grateful. To be still, even when the world is shouting. And that's not weakness. That's mastery. Because anyone can chase. Anyone can perform. Anyone can strive for more. But it takes courage. Deep, grounded, spiritual courage to stop, to breathe, to let go of needing to become, and instead choose to honor who you already are. The truth, you are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing the point. You're just not giving yourself credit for the quiet revolutions you've already lived through. And maybe that's what this year, this moment is really about. Not another reinvention, not another goal, not another impossible standard to chase, but a return. to presence, to perspective, to the version of you that once begged to be where you are now. And so the question isn't, what's next? The question is, can you see it now? Can you feel the weight you no longer carry? Can you notice the storms you now navigate with grace? Can you celebrate the strength that no longer needs to shout? Because this is it. This is what it looks like to live, to grow, to win in ways the world will never understand. It's not the finish line. It's the daily choice to see yourself clearly, to love yourself quietly, to forgive yourself fully, to finally say, I am not who I was, and that is enough.